The prologue. According to IBM, we create 2.5 billion bytes of data every day. This data originates in all areas of activity and everywhere. Without limitation, the data comes from sensors, social networking sites, digital photos, web blogs, online purchase transaction logs, etc. In general, data is classified into three categories. Any data that can be stored in databases can also be called structured data. For example, online purchase transaction records can be stored in databases. Therefore, it can be called structured data. Some data can be partially stored in databases, which can be called semi-structured data. For example, data in XML records can be stored partially in databases and may be referred to as semi-structured data. Other forms of data that do not fit into these two categories are called unstructured data. To name some data from social networking sites, weblogs cannot be stored, analyzed, and processed in databases. Therefore, it is classified as unstructured data. Another term used for unstructured data is big data. According to NASSCOM, structured data accounts for 10% of all data on the Internet today. It represents 10% of semi-structured data, and the remaining 80% of data correspond to non-structured data. In general, organizations use structured and semi-structured data analysis using traditional data analysis tools. No advanced tools were available to analyze unstructured data until MapReduce framework, developed by Google. Later, Apache developed a framework called Hadoop, which analyzes all the data and discloses information that will be of great help to the company to make better decisions. Hadoop has already proven its importance in many areas. For example, according to NASSCOM, many organizations have started using big data analysis. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, and many pharmaceutical and energy companies have started to use big data analysis to forecast their customers' behavior. According to a recent investigation by the Nemertz Group, value organizations are realizing big data analysis and planning to get a better impact to reap the benefits of big data analytics. The New York Times uses big data tools for text analysis, and Walt Disney uses them to connect and understand customer behavior across its stores and parks. Indian IT companies such as TCS, Wipro, Infosys, and other key players have also begun to reap the enormous potential that big data continues to offer. This clearly indicates that big data is an emerging area, and many companies are beginning to explore new opportunities. Meanwhile, the use of big data proves to be valuable, but at the same time, it can also be pointed out that privacy and data protection concerns have also increased. The interest in big data analysis is valid from a privacy point of view. Let me give a simple example. Today, I'm sure most of us use social networks like Facebook, Twitter, and many other social forums, and most of us watch videos on YouTube. Imagine these sites using big data analysis tools to determine your internet activity. Search behavior and content you watched on social networks. With big data, you can define your business in social networking forum. This is a flagrant violation of your privacy. Also, imagine that the organization shares the analysis data with some marketing agencies. This, in turn, creates more privacy issues. Now, let's discuss things from the perspective of data protection, as usual. Big data is stored in a cloud environment. This means that data is distributed across the network and stored somewhere in the world. Let me give you an example. Let's say you reside in the UK and access some social networking sites, and your data, including your profile, may be stored in a country in Asia or another country. If the social media site decides to sell some data, including your data, to a marketing agency, it will be able to have full access to your profile, including your phone number. If the marketing agency tracks the geographic location of your phone number, you will be able to record your full movements from the moment you leave the house and move to your friend's home. When you leave, you will also register your home for work and even your lover's visit. With this data, advertisers can use things to their advantage according to the routine they embrace every day. And they can also locate and promote their business wherever they are. It clearly shows that the data protection is another major concern in big data analytics. Many lawmakers and regulators around the world have expressed concern about analyzing big data. Organizations like Consumer Watchdog have also raised concerns about privacy and data protection for big data analytics. Big data is a great tool and can unlock more great paths and opportunities for organizations. Concerns about privacy and data protection should not alter the extraordinary benefits of big data. The good side is that many organizations are aware and have advanced information on this topic. Some organizations have begun to share the intention to collect data with clients. Some organizations have updated their privacy policy on their website to share the intent of their data collection strategy. In addition to Cloud Security Alliance, CSA, a consortium of technology companies and public sector agencies launched the Big Data Working Group, which works to find an appropriate solution to privacy and data-focused data issues. Therefore, we hope that these two main problems will be addressed. The benefits of big data analysis will be exploited, and the enormous potential that it offers will be exploited in the coming days. I hope for the best. Data analysis. The word data was in trend during 2012 and is likely to continue this year. Our passion for the internet, smartphones, and tablets creates a rich series of data. Each of our actions create a lot of data that can be consumed for data analysis. With the unbridled trends of social networks and increasingly expert marketing in technology, it has become a fundamental strategy for companies. A search engine data query generally yields many results in big data, which gives the impression that data analysis is only useful for companies that are worth millions of dollars. This is a myth. Data analysis for everyone, including SMEs. For small businesses, this limit can be avoided because the data is created at lower volumes. However, it was not long before the size, diversity, and speed of data reached control dimensions. How can small firms benefit from this type of analysis? While all companies maintain customer information or sales records, there are not enough details recorded in these records. Keep in mind that you are running an e-commerce website. Just track the number of customers coming from insufficient advertising sources. Details such as how long you've stayed on your site, how long you've stayed on each page, and how long the purchase takes, etc., are available entries to analyze the data. Therefore, you have to increase your metric skills. Having more information increases the scope of data analysis and can be used to reveal important information. Understand your customer. Most small businesses have mechanisms to collect information about their customers, whether CRM, ERP, or social network interactions. There is a lot of information about specific customers, but the problem is keeping them isolated in silos. This is not only reducing the effectiveness of the analysis, but it is not robust enough to provide information about your customer's ecosystem. Incorporating these using data analysis tools is the way to go. When adding information from different sources, customers not only remain as numbers or data, but also have multiple dimensions, as in real life. Display data. Even with less sophisticated data analysis infrastructure, small businesses can make a profit if they can visualize the collected data. While traditional techniques that include statistical methods or some other computer-based model provide better results for experts, data maps or graphs can be a better way for non-experts to visualize them. For example, combining customer data with geographic information can provide you with a better targeting strategy. We have many other ways in which data visualization can help. Giants use data analysis to adjust their business strategies. The fact that it is a small company does not mean that this type of study will not give you results. While it is interesting to think about this type of analysis broadly, from a business point of view, what matters is how effectively rationalizing your business. Invest more in data analysis and reap benefits. Data analysis can be defined as a process. In this process, a large number of datasets are interpreted and examined to gather information. Later, this information is used to make decisions for the company or organization. Many techniques are applied in the process, such as data modeling, data transformation, and cleaning, etc. Modeling is done to obtain the required conclusions to act. To clean the data, the damaged or inaccurate data is replaced. Later, this inaccurate, corrupt data is deleted and reorganized through the use of various techniques. In the process of this transformation, data changes from one type to another. After a while, using the detailed data activity model, the data model appears. This technology is applied in many fields, along with research, business, science, and technology. How does data analysis help business growth? Conventional or traditional systems are not able to manage big data. Therefore, there has been an increase in the number of technologies for this purpose. One of the new methods is Hadoop, a high-speed tool used to manage and store big data. Business decisions are executed strictly based on this stored data. Big data analysis technology has evolved since then and is used to obtain information about the important information that is important for the decision-making process in order to advance the business. Data analysis helps organizations understand the progress or return of their performance. Also, it helps to understand customer needs and requirements better. Learning about their circumstances and behavior will open new doors for effective marketing. Businesses can bring innovation taking into account customer perspectives. Data analysis will allow businessmen to obtain accurate information and thereby reduce business risks effectively. Thank you for reading this fantastic guide.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.